Going that way, guys.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis got into a terrible fight outside of a Miami bar, which caused a lot of trouble. There have been fights, families have been ignored, and jobs have been put at risk. It all began when Gervonta went too far, casting serious shade at Crawford and his family. Not only that, but he also made fun of Crawford for being seen with Canelo. It had been building up for months, but last night it all came out in the most spectacular way. Let's break it down. Let's make things happen. The city's hottest nightclub was full of famous people and sports. As it was any other wild night in Miami, Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis were among the important people there, ready to enjoy their last win. At first, the two boxing stars were in different parts, but as the night went on, they were bound to run into each other. Eyewitnesses say Davis walked up to Crawford and was rude to him. Crawford, who is known for being calm, tried to brush it off at first, but Davis quickly started to ridicule Crawford's desire for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. The mood changed quickly. "Man, Canelo doesn't even care about you," Davis told Crawford as he laughed. "You're just looking for a fight to make money."
Of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turki know each other, and then we wanna see what happened.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp? When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
In
here.
camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so when
At the beginning of the middle of the February or March.
Crawford's temper had hit its peak in an instant. When Crawford lost it, he charged at Davis and punched him, which caught everyone by surprise. When security arrived to separate them, the situation had already turned into chaos. A lot of people were screaming, cameras were going off, and the club was a mess. It was an interesting event, but not in a good way. You'll notice that this flash comes from a certain place if you've been watching the boxing scene. Crawford and Davis have been fighting for months, and their arguments have been made worse by comments and jabs on social media. It all began when Crawford scolded Davis for not being asked to London for Turkey's private ring award ceremony. Davis took this personally. Davis, who never gives up, replied by saying that Crawford put money before ability, especially when he made the controversial choice to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Are you retiring?
What changed?
What made this trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Madam. Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford and or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining love for it though? You never know. Like, you know, like say you got to walk today.
Abuse was said to each other. Everyone is better than the last. People have been talking about this quarrel for a while, but no one thought it would cause real trouble until lately.
Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we.
Let's look at the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, which Davis used to say bad things about Crawford. Different people have different thoughts on Crawford's choice to move up to 168 pounds and fight Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles.
Terence Crawford was Turki Alalshikh at the other event across town, put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments.
On the one hand, some see it as a risky move that will help him cement his reputation by going up against one of the sport's most famous names. Some people say Crawford only wants a paycheck and has no chance of beating Canelo.
Hey, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Magdalene.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stone. It's about now.
Davis didn't hold back when he talked about this problem. He told Crawford he was wrong to think that Canelo cares about him or the fight. Canelo is thinking about other things that are more important. Davis says that Edley doesn't know who you are, but you're out here asking for a fight like it's your retirement plan.
It's a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes to assessment, man?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Could he get it in the future?
Too little.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jamel. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight or?
What, 168? I
Yeah.
ain't going up there.
Right.
So we got Canelo winning then, right? And then they have three fighting at 168.
A lot of people have called the Crawford-Canelo fight a circus show that was made more for fun than for sports.
Fred, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out.
People who know a lot about boxing think that Crawford should earn his chance at 168 by fighting the best contenders instead of being given a straight fight against Canelo. Davis's words struck a nerve, and Crawford lost it.
You though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with, my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. This is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one with me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they write me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small, or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions will be answered.
Fans went crazy when they heard about the Crawford-Davis fight. As quickly as the boxing story spread, social media lit up like a Christmas tree with hashtags like #SHARClubChaos and #SharkItDavis. A lot of people who back Crawford think that Gervonta went too far by involving his family in the fight. Others say Tank is just taking advantage of the situation to keep his status as he gets ready to retire. To be honest, Gervonta isn't just throwing hands for fun. He's making noise, and it's working.
What changed? What made this trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during the time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Fed up with
Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might be gaining love for it though? You never know. Like like say you got to walk today.
But here's the catch. There's more to Gervonta than just Crawford. He is said to be in talks with Ryan Garcia for a huge fight. We are talking about a huge $150 million deal paid for by Turki Alalshikh, the same person who is paid for some of the biggest and best boxing events.
Hopefully I fight Ryan again. If they're not on some host, I'll tax that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it, knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them send that bag, and I'm coming. And I'm,
It's not just money that motivates Turki to take part. He wants to bring the excitement of a big show to every fight. He is in charge of making plans. The most recent moves by Crawford and Gervonta involve him. These moves are what are starting these crossover wars and big fights.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean,
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
Fans are raving about how Turki's appearance has changed the sport and made every fight feel like a big deal. Whether Crawford goes after Canelo or Tank makes their fight worse, it's all part of a bigger plan to keep fans glued to their TVS and in the news. And since Gervonta wants to go out on a high note, we can expect some big fireworks before he hangs up his gloves.
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later. And he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we'll see how that panned out. You know what I mean?
What does this mean for the future of Crawford and Davis? To begin with, this event could have major effects on Crawford. He's going to fight Canelo soon. He doesn't need this much trouble. Promoters and supporters will be unhappy if their athlete gets into fights on the street, which could put the whole match at risk.
I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Davis, on the other hand, has been teasing about retiring for a while now, and this event may make him more likely to do so. He has one more fight planned at the Barclays Center against Lemon Roach, and there are reports of a mega fight with Keshin Davis. But this violence may make his last fights in the sport less important.
They talking, they talking, they talking, but you know I get, you know I gonna 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 get, but he ain't gonna get a real machine, you know I gonna get a real one. And I promise you, now I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Now watch this.
They gonna
now
be
watch.
There. They gonna be
now
there.
Watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago?
You
when
know
you
how
said that?
you know how when they told you said how like I supposed to fought Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he was retiring, things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like where he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what. That's
that
what
all
I
it takes
want.
for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. It always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you going out.
They go to
I don't want you to feel like you going out.
Both of the combatants could get fined or be kicked off the commissions, and the public's view is already strongly on their side. Things aren't simple here, and the results could be very bad for both guys.
Saying that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out? You know.
You know, when you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, you know, that I'm not surprised about.
A Tank would be something that he said he'll touch your chin and
man, everybody say what they'll do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time. So
even with all of this going on, the big question is still whether Crawford and Davis will indeed fight. Even though they are very different sizes, stranger things have happened in fighting. Crawford is a welterweight moving up to super welterweight, while Davis ruled the lightweight division. However, Davis has said he might quit, so anything could happen.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch me.
Wow, man. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
Got 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-count.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Think about the hype. Fans would be glued to their TVS if these two chose to settle their differences in the ring. It would be one of the most talked about fights in recent memory. There are real problems with making this struggle happen, but the wish is clear. Where do we go from here? Will Crawford and Davis have to deal with the results of what they did? Would this argument lead to a legal fight between the two? What effects will this have on their future jobs and legacies? A lot of questions still need to be answered, and everyone in the fighting world is eager to find out more. There is one thing that is for sure: the story is not over yet. Crawford and Davis do business in the ring and in public. We'll be very careful about what we do next. Keep an eye out for the latest news. What are your thoughts on this strange event? Which team are you on? Clark or Davis? Do you think this argument will turn into a real fight? Leave your ideas in the section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any of the excitement in boxing. I'll see you at the next one.